Okay.
5% of recyclable material must be diverted from them.
Yes, I was listening.
But it's also what do you do? Can you create an industry out of that? And frankly speaking, we have not yet begun to arrive at a point what is the nature of the industry. Yes, you can take bottles, let's say, and then send them to the bottle company. And these things like that. So we can have that conversation. And you know, it looks. Oh, okay. We started. Oh, okay.
Yes, now we can start.
Yes. So I'm starting so that young people can relate to it. If you know what I'm saying.
I do see.
So that it's cool to collaborate. We associate it with downtrodden people who are the new science, if you like. Yeah?
Yes.
But this is an industry, it's an economy. But for some reason we haven't come to that realization. And that is in part because of us politicians and policy makers. But on our own we will not succeed. So we'll need to ensure that once we put the policy together, people like you then come and occupy that space. That we're able to increase awareness. We go to the schools, we say this is what is possible.
Little consciousness,
Yeah.
green consciousness.
Yes.
Because njengoba usho ukuthi what does also cause it ukuthi abantu bengabi nendaba ngalolu hlobo, what I also see is besides the role that the government has to play, it's also indima umuntu akayidlala yena. We don't value this. We don't value packaging.
No,
it's so beautiful when it still has that cold drink inside. It's so hot. Ibanda pour. It's beautiful.
Yes.
But once umuntu I pause, I get that he just got it so.
Yes.
Sometimes immediately and a little
yes,
bit.
yes,
But
yes.
the value, yes, we need to bring awareness of the value of packaging. We need to bring enlightenment of that certain packaging can actually be recycled.
Yes,
What is the difference? What can be recycled? What? Funny enough, please answer this question. How do we go about educating the youth, not just the youth about pollution, but about the green economy? Because I think besides how cool it may look, what taps into the youth's mind and attention is the greens, it's the money. People want money, people need money and alternative ways nowadays because everybody wants jobs.
So my critique about the conversation on recycling, green economy and all of that, we are not able to bring it to the level of an ordinary person. Remember that the person today is concerned with where am I going to get my next thing. So the conversation now is about future generations. It's about our kids, grandchildren, how we're going to give them a wealth that is going to help them to meet their future demands.
They be able to sustain this living.
Yeah, but I was saying to someone earlier on that in Gauteng there are about 15.35 million people. And we know the statistics has told us that 2% of the population, so about 5 million are food insecure. So they don't know where they want to get their next meal. So the conversation as we talk green, as we talk the separation and source, must show me that okay, by doing this I'm going to have an income. But we know ourselves, the planners, that in fact we are saving future generation or we're enhancing.
And this is the long term.
This is the long term. But it's not a binary question. You can do both. You can address the now and also protect the interest of the future. So that's something that we need to do. So it's also how we introduce the conversation in the public domain. I mean, even by just walking, the way you're introducing it is, okay, so it's possible, if you know what I'm saying.
I do.
But you'll talk their language, you'll know the mannerisms, and then they'll say, oh, okay, so this is not just some poor old fellow who we treat as a nuisance, but this is in fact can be cool. And that's the kind of collaboration that we need in government. And that's why we think someone like you can be very useful.
Thank you for
an
that.
ambassador in taking this to young people. And say these are the options, working with leave government out, government might be sitting somewhere at the back, but this is your responsibilities, this is what it means today, tomorrow and into the future.
Into the future.
Yes.
I love something that you touched on when you said about food security and about farming. You also touched on it on stage. We, because of global warming, because of land issue and because of where's my next meal going to come from, in terms of urban farming, in terms of giving the youth different alternatives, because there is an unemployment, yes, but I also am questioning if maybe not everybody's looking to the same kind of careers, to the same kind of employment. You know more than anyone the types of opportunities within the green space and within urban farming. So please let us know what are the plans, what structure can be put in place or will be put in place.
Yeah, you Actually, just the other day we visited some chefs Bako Lensari. So these chefs on about 170 square meters under roof.
Yes.
They produce an equivalent of what we get from 5 hectares. So it's smart, it's energy efficient, and you create your own condition. It's not a function of the elements because you create the condition. It's like a laboratory. You create your own condition.
A greenhouse that allows it to actually grow quicker as well without the elements.
Yes, and then I mean, just come to think of it, you go to see video of Joe and see the hijacked and abandoned buildings. So what is our thinking? Remove them, put retail, housing, yes, let's do that. But because that technology exists, you can have a 7-story, it's a big farm.
Yes.
Like
vertical farms.
Vertical farming, you know about vertical, smart agriculture and all of that.
Exactly.
So efficient energy use and efficient use of resources, and it's much more productive, I'm sorry. It's efficient. It will make it cool. I mean,
I was about to say it's actually also more cool because agriculture generally is not a career that everybody just runs to. No one takes abanga imali yabo ntazi agriculture mangicabangela. Whereas this is a new enticing economy. This is something completely different. And with the challenge we have in Joburg with our air pollution, with that issue, vertical gardens are a necessity beyond food security. With the education on climate and climate change and the different careers now. So I love that you are touching on that because we do need that. And then also, how do we, because we did touch on schools and future learning and future taking care of our future, how I've got ideas as a crazy person.
Yes.
I've got ideas as somebody who's worked with schools of different ages. I've got ideas, but now from somebody who's an expert, from somebody whose job it is to be more bothered than me about all of this, i-direction ithini kwamanje singabafundisa kanjani abantwana ukuthi be-understand ukuthi igoli leli ubuhle balo, it's up to us to preserve it. It's called a world-class city. I'm sorry, I don't see world class. I don't see world class. I walk past it every day.
Unless we were redefining what world class is.
Exactly. So a re-education of litter consciousness, a re-education of waste stops with me. Play your part. I love the hashtag. It sounds amazing. I love what it's about. But I want to inspire people, yes, but I also like to know, really inside, how are you planning to just, because I'd like to work with you, I will work best with you, knowing what you guys are doing. Because litter consciousness, education about the environment is necessary.
So one of the pillars of our response strategy is what we call awareness. And our view is that you must catch them down. So you must find them in the schools and all of it. So in addition to other downstream benefits, and I say downstream when you recycle, create market and all of that, but we think that at a very young age we need to create awareness. And I don't think that that awareness will be created in the traditional way. As a school teacher standing there. I mean, it's just another school, if you know. But if we get ambassadors like yourself, and that's why I'm saying we need to bring the conversation back.
I would appreciate
ambassadors like yourself. There's the school. Oh, you find the most creative way of organizing. It must be fun, if you know. So it must be, you know, the restriction of the classroom might not be an ideal environment.
And this is a topic that's
so
not
they must really look at the but in the, it's educational. And in that way, I mean, it's ingrained. So it won't. So here it's like an obligation. And by the way, they won't be writing an exam for this hour.
Exactly.
So there's no interest. Okay, we are listening. Okay, it's fine. It's done. Let's go and do math now.
Exactly. And beyond that, I'd like to leave something that so beyond that. And then you know, just see the baba construction. About different things for different brands. I saw how different brands actually do go to schools and it's called the CSI budget brands that you don't have and run. But it wasn't so valuable, whereas something based in Germany and I'm partnering with different companies with different brands. I don't know probably as a corporate, of course I have i-eco-break ama-dustbin asey'koleni including indaba ukuthi abanawo ngaphandle emagcekeni and then kamohari go classrooms abona i-20 litre everything up and ayikho nje ukuthi ngwana ona uto tsiba byang gore no dustbin ena i-dustbin to ena tshwanetse gore e berekisa byang when it doesn't look like a dustbin, it's not conducive. So I've got into in my mind with working together with certain brands. For example, I'm screaming out here, I'm screaming. Yes, because lento aduzisho imfundiso ukuze ifike eGoleni, they have feeding schemes and they throw away all the tins, and those things would be recycled, they could be upcycled by the kids to actually make crafts, or their mothers, because some schools are in underprivileged communities. So they could actually upcycle certain things that they get for free from the school. Ukuthi benze into besizwe kuthengiswe ukuze bezobona ukuthi lo doti njengoba dusho kunegolide phakathi kuyimali phakathi. Those are the strategies that I would like to.
So let's do that. So our biggest takeaway is that we will set up a meeting, formal meeting. I want you to come through and bring this.
I would appreciate it.
We're looking for ambassadors and clients on other nations.
I would appreciate
But this is the kind of new thinking, if you like, new energy, just the reframing of the conversation to a point that there's great